Hi everyone, my name's Helen Knight, and today I'm going to be talking to one of my amazing clients, Simon Morgan, who runs Bread and Butter and a design agency, and he also helps sustainable fashion brands. And we're going to be asking him some honest feedback about the program, just giving his opinion really. So, hi Simon, do you want to introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name's Simon. I run a creative agency in Leeds, which you've already said called Bread and Butter Creative Communications, just to give it its full title, although we do tend to refer to ourselves just as Bread and Butter for obvious reasons. We create brands for companies either from scratch or rebrands, and then we help them then communicate across whatever particular channel they want to be communicating across.
Okay, fantastic. And so we met about 4 months ago. It might have been slightly longer now, over 4 months ago. How did you feel before we met? Can you just explain sort of where you were at the time in your business, and how you were feeling at the time?
Yeah, sure. So it doesn't feel like that long ago, but
No.
yeah, I guess like perhaps things had just not necessarily stagnated, but that we were kind of looking to maybe push on a little bit, but maybe weren't entirely sure quite how. So it was our kind of almost chance meeting was quite serendipitous, really, because it just tended to happen just at that right moment, really.
Yeah, perfect. And what was going through your mind at the time? Were you just sort of thinking of how you were going to grow things, or was there anything particular on your mind?
I think this is probably largely true for any company, really, but especially creative agencies. Certainly, the ones that I know is new business is the kind of the holy grail. Really, it's the big challenge for us, and certainly it was for me personally with Bread and Butter. So that was the one thing that I really wanted to try and tackle head on, really.
Yeah, okay. So how were you feeling at the time? Was it just like, were you sort of worrying about anything, or was it just kind of a bit unknown at the time? You just didn't know what to do next, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, we tried various different approaches over a couple of years, really. So everything from networking to more technical approaches like lead forensics. Nothing really seems to necessarily give us what we were looking for, really.
Okay. And was that affecting like the business, or how did it affect things at that time when you was, I know you did mention you tried a few other things when we first met.
Um, it wasn't massively detrimental in the sense that we weren't losing sleep because there wasn't enough money coming in or anything like that. But it did feel, like I said at the start, it felt a little bit like we just kind of just sort of plateaued a little bit.
Yeah, you just
So just looking for just another approach, really, to kind of kick us on.
yeah, brilliant. Okay. And what happened when we met and you joined the program? Do you want to just tell everybody sort of your experience?
Yeah, sure. So when we first met, I guess the one thing that really stood out at the start was, I guess, encouraging us to take a step back, if you like, and then look from the outside in at the business, which was really, really useful. And then kind of just take a different approach and a different view to how we approach various aspects of it. So I think in terms of just understanding the principles of who we're targeting, what we're trying to say, how we're trying to say it, and just being really, really focused as well, I think. So prior to, say, 4 or 5 months ago, prior to that, we'd worked with, I still do to a certain extent, a number of different businesses across a number of different sectors. And that's great. However, and this is something that working with yourself, Helen, has kind of probably made us realise more, is it's like that old saying about it's no longer good enough to be the best at what you do. You have to be the only person at what you do. And it's kind of, I think you used the phrase narrowing down your niche, and it was kind of working on that bit at the very early stage. I think that was really beneficial and quite eye-opening as well. So yeah, looking at what we enjoy doing, the type of work we enjoy doing, the type of people we enjoy doing it for, and then using that as our focus, really.
Great. And would you say there were other key things that you felt you got out of working together over that time? What were the main things you think you really benefited from working on the programme?
There are multiple. It's quite hard to pinpoint any one. I'd say lots of useful things that have fallen out of that 4-month process. I think forming good habits, good daily habits, understanding how we speak and how we sell ourselves. So I think, and creatives are really, really good at this. It kind of sometimes talking or saying what we want to say, but actually what you need to do is take a step back and look at it from the client's perspective. Okay, so what is the client experience at this moment in time? What are their problems? What are their pain points? Where can we come in and help with that, hook them in, and kind of draw people towards you in that way. So that was really, really useful as well.
Yeah, excellent, great. So lots of little nuggets then that you're going to be using in the future. Brilliant. So how did you feel when you started to progress, I guess? How did you feel when you started to feel like you were improving your skills in certain certain aspects of how you promote yourself?
I think so. And I think it's a lot about being confident with what you're saying and how you're saying it as well. I think, which perhaps whilst we were 100% confident in terms of what we do, and the level of output that we give, that's never really been in question. I think sometimes when you're selling yourself and talking about your business and selling your business, I think it really helps to be as confident as you can be, especially if there's good reason to be confident as well. Yeah, it kind of feels like we know kind of where we're going now and what we're doing. There's a bit more purpose, I think, from the communications that we put out to how we're approaching things and doing what we're doing, and the whole new business side of things. I think there's a real sense of purpose now, I think.
Brilliant, excellent. Can I ask, is there anything in particular that you found that was like the best part about the programme, or is there anything that you enjoyed the most, or anything that you thought was the best part about the programme?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think there's probably a multitude of different answers to that. I think it's just all of the different insights and ways of looking at everything, and the different approach, I think, has been really, really, really useful. And also being able to kind of, I know, for example, when we've been crafting pieces of copy like the USP, being able to do that almost like a partnership and kind of go back and forth has been really, really useful as well.
Great. So the feedback always helps. It really makes a massive difference, because if you're always getting that feedback consistently, you can sort of grow the business so much quicker that way. Otherwise, it's a lot of trial and error, isn't it?
Along the way.
It's important for people that are watching to realise that obviously we've got a set process that people follow, so they can be really clear about the business and start doing things on a daily basis that start to actually attract the right people coming through. Did you ever feel like you were doing anything that you didn't feel comfortable, or even if you did, do you feel like that was a bad thing?
I guess so. I mean, I think you can apply this to any part of your life, really, in terms of if you want to move forward, you always need to take yourself out of your comfort zone, I think, and do things that perhaps maybe aren't necessarily in your wheelhouse. So, for example, for me, and I would say this is probably pretty symptomatic of a lot of creatives and designers, not necessarily the best salespeople. So, for instance, the sales call bit, just even going through that whole process and working out what we're going to be saying and when we're going to be saying it, and how we're going to be saying it, kind of makes me feel. I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but it's not necessarily something that I kind of sales isn't something that's natural to me, whereas to other people in other industries, 100% it will be.
Yeah, I understand.
But I think just doing that and taking yourself out of your comfort zone. There's been several areas throughout the course where it's been, I'd say, a challenge, but in a good way. And obviously, if you want to get everything, if you want to get on and progress, I think you need to do things that perhaps aren't you not necessarily comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's important to realize, like, some people think that's a bad thing if you're uncomfortable, but yeah, if you want to do things you've never done before that are actually going to help you grow, it's really, really key. Yeah. So do you feel like any part of the process you weren't happy with, or you're quite happy to keep using it and keep improving your skills so that you can start to bring consistent people coming through your business?
Yeah, the latter. So we've taken on board obviously all of the social side of things, so in terms of the post to create inbound marketing, starting conversations on the social channels that we've identified as the right channels for our business.
Yeah.
So we're on with that. The more you do something and the more you hone those skills, the better you become. And to the point where, and I think you and I have had this conversation before, where something almost becomes second nature to you, and you just do it. It just happens. So yeah, I mean, even 4 or 5 months ago, pointing a camera at myself and doing a 60-second reel, which is going to go out to whoever wants to watch it, was like, yeah, I'm not really comfortable with doing that. Whereas now it's kind of just get on and do it. It's not really
amazing. Well done. Yeah, I mean, even little things like that is a massive win.
Yeah.
It really is. So well done. And yeah, it's all coming together, which is exciting. So what would you recommend to people thinking about joining the program, or just looking at what we're doing and just wondering whether they should take action? What would you say to them?
I guess they need to have a conversation first. But if you're either looking to take your company to that next level, or if you find yourself maybe stagnating a little bit, or maybe you're looking to reposition your business and kind of take a slightly different approach in terms of either what you do or who you do it for, then yeah, pick up the phone.
Brilliant. Amazing.
Not to me, to you.
Amazing. Yeah. Thanks, Simon. Really, really appreciate that, giving you honest feedback about the program today. And yeah, definitely keep in touch. I'm excited to hear about your cause, and yeah, reach out if you need anything else. So yeah, talk to you soon.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay. Thank you.